Could you please introduce yourself?
It's Adrian Smith from Maiden. How you doing?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
Good.
So you just checked out what was playing today on the Wild Rock Festival?
No, I just actually arrived and I was looking at the program to see who was playing. I didn't know. No.
What kind of bands do you like from this lineup today? You know, Type of Negative?
To be honest, I'm not really familiar with any of them. To be honest, it's not my kind of stuff. Actually, I think really.
What is your stuff?
To be honest, when we're not touring and recording, I don't really listen to a lot of music. To be honest, when we're recording, I like to listen to guitarists, a bit of inspiration like Gary Moore and Joe Satriani, people like that. But no, I mean I listen to a lot of music at home because my kids watch MTV, so I know what's going on. Don't get me wrong.
You just started a big new tour. This is like the third week?
Yep, I think it might be the fourth. I think we're over halfway through the European bit. Yeah.
How's it going so far?
It's fantastic. It's gone so well. The audience have been great, and we're having such a good time, you know.
After more than 25 years, you're still busy making music and on tour, and do you still enjoy it?
Yeah, enjoy being on stage actually more than ever, to be honest with you. Plus, I had a little break from the band for 8 or 9 years, so I left and came back. So I'm kind of recharged my batteries and got energised. And no, like I say, I enjoy it more than ever, to be honest with you.
Why did you decide, for the listeners who don't know, why to come back to the band?
Well, I guess they were looking for a singer at the time because Blaze was leaving, and I was working with Bruce, and then they asked Bruce, and then they kind of got around to asking me to make it. I guess there was some kind of feeling towards getting the lineup from the 80s together. Mm-hmm. Not that we're into nostalgia because we've moved on and done a couple of albums, but you know, Yannick stayed on, so that gave it a different thing. I don't know if I'd have been that comfortable coming back and doing the same thing as we did in the 80s. I think that'd have been a bit sad, but I think we've moved on, you know, and we've managed to do something fresh, which is great.
I just heard on this little strange box, listening session from your new record, Dying to Hear. Could you explain something about the new record? It will be released in September 2003.
Yeah, it's called Dance to Death. It's got 11 new songs. It kind of follows on from the last Brave New World. Same producer. I think overall it's probably a little more consistent. You know, we've been working together for 2-3 years again now. So I think overall the standard of the songs are much higher than Brave New World. There were some good songs on Brave New World, but I think this album's more consistent, you know. Mm-hmm.
I think the sound is very open. Like it's produced really well, like a clean, clear sound. Was it a different way of working this time?
No, we pretty much got into a way of working with Kevin Shirley, producer. He likes to work very quickly. We do lots of takes. We probably do one song a day. We'll do 8 or 10 takes and pick one take and then maybe move good bits from other takes. Mm-hmm. But we don't overdub anymore too much, except for solos and some vocals as well. But it's pretty much live, you know, what you hear.
I just listened to Wildest Dream, the first song on the new record. Could you tell us something about that?
It's probably the first thing I sat down to try and get together, you know. I was thinking in terms of the album. This was back in the late summer, and I got that riff together, and I kind of actually made a demo of the music. I played it to Steve, and he said, well, that could make a really good single. Mm-hmm. And he wrote the words and some melodies, and there we had it. Came together very quickly.
I think it's much different than your former record because it's more sort of rock and roll way.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of tracks. Probably that opening track there is probably not so much to be. It's probably more in the vein of Run to the Hills, kind of Can I Play a Madness, the more commercial side of the band. But also on the album we got, you know, I mean there's a 9-minute song, you know. I mean we go right through all the things you probably expect from a Maiden album, you know. Mm-hmm. There's some more dark stuff, you know.
And there was the song number 3. I don't know. It was 7-minute song, a long song.
Oh yeah.
Which started off really quiet and then once it exploded.
I think it's called. No More Lies. Yeah, that's one of Steve's songs. I think it's the only song on the album that it wasn't a co-write. I think he wrote that one himself. And then it's a great song. It's one of Steve's. Good one from Steve, that one. Yeah. Like I say, it's a long song. It starts off quiet, you know, typical of us, and then it kind of explodes and then breaks down again. Yeah, cool. Yeah.
You enjoy the new record?
Yeah, I enjoy recording. I mean, I used to enjoy recording more than playing live, but I think now probably live more. But no, I do enjoy it. Yeah.
What do you enjoy more, like playing the new songs or just the old ones and see everyone go wild?
Yeah, I mean, when you play the old stuff and they get a reaction like we've been getting, it reinvigorates the songs, it re-energises you. Sometimes when you're rehearsing, Run to the Hills, and you've played it 700 times.
I think more, like 1 million or something.
You get a bit. It's hard, but when you play it to an audience, it sort of recharges it, and it just gives it a whole new lease of life.
It's crazy to see when I just came here today. I saw a lot of people have new T-shirts on. Like everyone is going to buy new T-shirts all the time. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, in Europe, we're still picking up fans. I mean, young fans. It's one of the things I noticed when I rejoined the band was the age of the audience. I couldn't believe it. In Europe, we were getting 13, 14, 15-year-old kids down the front of concerts.
Also, 40 years old people.
Yeah, yes, at least. Yeah, and we're even getting young girls. Dare I say? I don't know how. I don't know why, but even the girls are getting into it. Maybe it's something to do with the Iron Maiden T-shirts. They're getting that.
The girly shirts.
Yeah, the girly shirts.
What about when are you going to stop then?
What, this tour or?
No, you with a band like.
Oh wow. I don't know. I mean, at the moment, we're still playing. We play for nearly 2 hours every night. We still play with the same energy and enthusiasm as we ever did. That's a standard the band kind of set for itself, We're still picking up new fans. I mean, as long as we're doing that and making fresh new music to us, and keep ourselves interested, I don't know. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. Are you still travelling by bus with you all together?
Well, we're not on a bus, no. We're actually flying, so and that's been 3 weeks now, and no one's took a swing at anybody. No, we get on great now. I mean, that's another thing I've noticed. I mean, everyone's a bit older, a bit wiser. It's and you give each other space.
Is it also when you get older you enjoy it like more than 10 years ago?
I do, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
That's the thing of getting wiser and older.
Well, yeah, the travelling doesn't get any easier, but that's part of the gig. It's just something you have to do. That's something we've always done.
Mm-hmm.
You got to take the music to your fans, really.
Yeah. What's your really best experience you've ever had? Like, what's a gig you will remember for 1,000,000 years?
Well, there's been quite a few actually. I mean, we did Rock in Rio, 2000, 2001.
Yeah. Where the album came from, the live album?
Yeah, live album and DVD, and that was just one of the most incredible experiences of my life. I mean, it was over 200,000 people.
200,000?
Yeah, and this massive site. We flew into the gig on a helicopter. We could see all the people underneath. We landed backstage. I mean, the backstage area was bigger than some of the gigs we've done. It was just outrageous. Bands playing backstage, and
really backstage?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I mean, it was just the amount of people. We went out on stage, and just the noise and the energy was just nearly knocked you off your feet. It was like I don't think a football crowd is that big,
Mm-hmm.
And
200,000.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
What's your most favourite record ever from Iron Maiden?
Well, I always liked Somewhere in Time. I mean, going back to that one, and also, this last one's pretty good too.
That's where we talk about it. That's right.
Yeah. But I find the music doesn't really date because Iron Maiden's got a particular kind of style, and we never went off and followed what other people were doing. So, in the 80s we didn't go sort of drum machines and, techno, so you can still listen to it. I mean, some of the stuff we did 15, 20 years ago we could have done on the last album, We're kind of in our own sort of time warp,
That's really fantastic in sort of way, like you will survive with your own style.
Yeah, it's unusual, and I think it just shows you, if you stick to your guns and stick to what you believe in, there's kind of longevity in that,
Hey, what about the artwork? Like, I saw the artwork behind the bus, on the bus. Is that real artwork for the new record?
No, you won't be able to see the artwork yet.
Okay.
I haven't seen it.
It's like a wolf with a baby on it?
No, I've seen the mock-up. I've seen the ideas, but I haven't seen the finished thing yet. So.
Oh, okay. I saw it also on the little schedule what was here, like
right.
with the songs.
Yeah, well, maybe you know more than I do.
Eddie's gone?
No, Eddie's always there. He's right there behind you.
Oh, god damn.
How can we do anything without him? But, it's great to have something that people can instantly identify with, or identify the band by. We don't have to. Yeah.
Who came up with the idea from Eddie?
Well, it was partly Derek Riggs, actually, because he took an image from a war book, and it was a head stuck on a tank, decomposing head, and it just sort of grew out of that, really. He's a strange guy.
Thank you very much for this interview.
Cool. Okay, thanks a lot.